Hey guys, how are you? I couldn't tell if I was live or not, so it looks like I am. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Happy Sunday to you guys. I hope you've been having a fabulous weekend and that everything's been going really well for you. It's interesting. We've got the equinox going on right now, so that always brings us into balance. Whether you realize it or not, you've got these beautiful cosmic rhythms that are always kind of moving, us in a background frequency kind of way and supporting us and nudging us along in certain directions. And that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm talking to you and educating you so you can be aware of what energy is moving through your field this week, and how do you calibrate, how do you tune into that, and how do you adjust that to be the highest frequency that it can be, so that you are feeling your best, acting your best, feeling grounded, all of that. So let's begin. So this weekend, the sun entered the gate 25, and this is the gate in the I Ching of universal love. It's just such a beautiful gate. I actually have this activation naturally, so I understand this energy at a deep level. And it's really all about trusting in divine order in every aspect of your life. And as anybody here watching that knows my life story, I've had the ultimate test of trusting in divine order. I lost my beloved at a young age, and am still, trying to flex that trust muscle, and just know that there had to be some divine plan and some beauty in the tragedy, in anything that happens in our lives. We have to try to pull what we can and learn to trust in a higher power, that there has to be some organization to what we perceive as chaos. So this energy is about learning to connect to source as a path to creating well-being in your life. Because if you're trying to go at it alone, I can tell you that doesn't work real well. I can tell you from personal experience. So, yeah, the more that you can learn to, trust and remember that your life serves an irreplaceable role in the cosmic plan, and to honor that role, right? And to live from it. So, let's ask ourselves a couple questions and start to drill down on how we can strengthen that relationship with Source, God, whatever it is to you. So some things, to just kind of start to ask yourself and to contemplate are, do I have a regular practice that connects me to Source and helps me strengthen my trust in a higher power? A lot of us don't. And if you don't have a regular practice to go to, let me tell you firsthand, when tragedy and crisis hits, when you lose somebody you love, I mean, it just takes the ground right out underneath you. And if you don't have something to fall back on, that you already have in place, like a little tool in your tool belt, to go to, it's obviously devastating anyway, but I mean, it can really, pull you down, and it can be really hard to climb your way back out of that well. So just start kind of pondering that, start going through your week, and just trying to notice, where your little rituals are, and what you do to connect in with Source, and to show gratitude, and to pray, and to, just work as a team, right? And the other part of it is, do you know your life purpose? Ask yourself, am I living true to my life purpose? How can I deepen my connection to my purpose? Because that is also your connection to Source, and knowing that, there is a divine plan and a destiny, and a potential, whatever you want to call it, to your life. And we also look at the Earth Gate, because that is going to be how we're grounding in this energy of the sun. What is the sun is illuminating in our world, and then the earth is how we ground it in. And interestingly enough, the earth is moving through the gate 46, which is the gate, it's called pushing upward, and it's the determination of the self. And when you look it up in the I Ching, it says good fortune that may be perceived as a result of serendipity, but derives from effort and dedication. And this is known as the gate of luck. It's about being in the right place, the right time to receive the opportunities that you want to receive. And a lot of times we look at people and we put them on a pedestal and we go, they're so lucky. Like, man, they just, everything seems to just happen, they just always seem to be in the right spot at the right time, or wow, look at this opportunity that they got. But what we don't always see is the hard work and the pushing upward, the persevering that they do on the back end, when nobody else is watching, and, that they've built up the skills so that when the opportunity presents itself, they can show up, right? So it's a beautiful gate. It's also known as the love of the body. And so it's all about enjoying and using your body in all of its capacities. And, just realizing, being grateful for the gift of the body. I mean, you ask somebody that's a quadriplegic, and they'll tell you, what a gift it is to be able to get out of bed and stand upright and to be able to, walk. I mean, just these simple things that sometimes we don't really appreciate. So I'm going to tell you, go out, take a walk in the woods. The woods is such a great way to, if you're looking, like struggling for, well, okay, how do I connect in with source? Like, how do I start to feel, a power that is greater than me? Easy, I can tell you. Go into the woods, go into nature. You just start to walk and you just start to see, the colors and to hear the sounds of the birds. And I mean, I know it sounds kind of corny when I'm saying it, but when you're there, I've had so many moments, like epiphany moments, where I just connect in with all of it. And that's what universal love is all about. It's feeling that connection, that you are part of a greater, peace, part of a greater beauty that is all of consciousness connected. And so when you use your body to connect with source, then you can ground in that infinite possibility and your purpose, right? And that's what we're all trying to do. So what I did for the tones tonight is I wanted to focus on connecting, increasing our connection with source. And so we're going to be working with some solfeggio tones. I am putting in the 852 hertz tone, which is all about returning to spiritual order. And the 174 hertz is about connecting the dots. And I think that'll help us with our purpose. And, if you're not sure, I mean, heck, all of us at certain times aren't, sure, like, is this really my purpose? Like, really? Just helping, to kind of connect that. And also embracing the light. That's a beautiful one to just help us open up that channel of connection. And on the sacred geometry side, I added in spirals, very, very powerful symbol. And also Metatron's cube. Metatron's cube actually helps us realize the harmony and balance of nature, like I was talking about, just that we are surrounded. This is what this energy update is. It's trying to open your eyes to understand that we are connected to everything. So why not put yourself in places of perfection, of perfected resonance, right? And then you attune yourself, right? By the time you get done with your hike in the woods, I guarantee you have raised your frequency, you have raised your vibration, and you're going to feel good about yourself. Or better than when you came in. And then obviously adding the gene keys activations for the 25th gate of universal love and the 46th gate of pushing upward. We can all use some more perseverance energy. So why don't we go ahead and sit back, Sunday evening. We made it through this beautiful week. Close your eyes and start to take some deep breaths, focusing on that exhale, just letting it all go. Opening yourself up on this beautiful equinox where you've got this powerful surge of balancing energy, the perfect balance of light and dark. Go ahead and drop into your heart space, start to center yourself there, tuning into that universal love that resides within us all. And with this next exhale, start to drop that light that you've activated down from your heart space through your torso, down into your legs, down into your calves, moving through your feet, easily breaking through that crust of Mother Earth and dropping down into the earth, deep into the earth, like roots of a tall oak tree, and just really soaking up the nutrients that the earth gives us, that we take for granted every day, but is always there, the perfect medicine that we need to feel stable, to feel grounded, to feel supported. And really dropping your light and your energy all the way down to the center of the earth, where absolute perfection lies in a crystalline core. Feel yourself plugging into that core, that crystal, feeling that amplification of light and energy starting to pulse back up into your body now. Moving back up through your legs, your torso, feeling it in your heart, and then moving it up and out of your crown chakra as we move upward, taking our light past the moon, past the sun, past all the stars in the sky, all the planets in our universe, and at that border, at that boundary, with this next breath, feeling yourself pushing upward, pushing through that boundary into the Akash, into the ether, the space of non-judgment and infinite possibility. Just adjusting to that white light of perfection. Starting to breathe that in and direct that downward like a magical golden rain shower. Just starting to bring that back down as a spiral, coming down from the Akash in a spiral motion into your crown, into your body, moving down into the earth like the infinity symbol, and then pulling up that earth energy, mixing the two, and then moving that up through your heart space, and at your heart space then changing that circuit, and then moving it up into the ether, and then again like an infinity symbol, crossing over at your heart, down into the earth. We are just a conduit for this energy that we're going to experience. So let's play the tones. Oh, I didn't want that to be over. Oh, it's so beautiful. Go ahead and why don't we take a gathering breath, dropping our hands down to the side, taking a big inhale as we bring earth up to heaven and bring heaven down to earth, earth being our bodies. And so we drop that energy down and put our hands to rest on our lower dantian, which is just about 3 fingers from your belly button. And that's where we store that beautiful connection and that beautiful, light and love and in connection with all that is, because we all have a little piece of God within us. And when you think of what created all of creation and that you have a spark of that in you, and what we do in this work is we are just lighting that spark up each week that we do this work, and so we're just getting more and more in tune. Oh, I'm just looking at the comments, and Rhonda's out in the woods tonight. She is so lucky. She lives in this magical place in Canada and is always sending pictures of the moon, the stars, the just snowy fields, her horses. Thank you so much, Rhonda, saying it was so peaceful. Oh, Jennifer, I'm so glad you were able to catch the live. Your energy is so beautiful. And I have to tell you, we went through the Akashic Academy training together, and she did a reading on me as part of the, what do you call that? Where you're interning, and you have to do a certain amount of readings before you actually, get your certification. And she gave me such a powerful reading. How many years ago was that, Jennifer? I mean, it had to be like 3-4 years ago. It still to this day sticks with me. I just want you to know that, like, your words were that powerful. And I still see the vision that you created, with me in our reading. And I just want to thank you so much for that. Oh, Rhonda's listening to my friends, the owls, tonight. I don't know if any of you heard my story. I love my woods, but I got attacked by an owl. I'm not going to lie. I got attacked by an owl. I don't know, like 2 years ago. I had gotten this beautiful, beautiful, like pink winter cat for Christmas, and it had the biggest, most beautiful little pink pom-pom on top of it. And yes, in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of times it looks like night when it's day. It's always cloudy here. Those owls don't know when feeding time is. And I'm just doing my thing, and I'm walking through the woods, and I felt like I got stabbed in my head, honestly, from the back. It pushed me forward like 5 feet, it just bam. And I thought, what? I must be getting attacked, right? And the scariest thing was, I thought, well, I got to turn around. I got to face, what's behind me and attacking me. And when I turned around, there was nothing there. And I was like super freaked out then. I'm like, what? It was that. And then I just barely heard something. Owls are so quiet. The forest ranger said, you will never hear them. You will never hear them attack. They always attack from behind, and they're silent. And this thing was just right above me. And let me tell you, those owls, when you get up close, Rhonda, those things are big. I'm just telling you, that thing was massive. And so here it is. What it had done was it had locked its tendons into me, and it was trying to literally lift me off the ground. But what happened was, luckily, it didn't get a good enough hold on me, and I'm too heavy, and so it ended up taking the cap when it lifted off. But I could feel its talons. It's weird. It's like you could feel them kind of like lock in and then lift up. It was very mechanical. Anyways, this owl flies up with my hat to this tree branch right next to me, and just turns around, puts his little paw on my pink hat, and just looks at me like, you want to go? Because I'm looking at him. I want my hat back. I'm like, why'd you take my hat, man? I'm talking to an owl. I'm thinking I'm crazy. And as soon as I said that, the owl's sitting here on the branch, out of nowhere, second owl. Again, never heard this thing. I don't know where the thing came from. They are silent. And now they're both looking at me and I'm outnumbered and I don't know if there's a circle of owls behind me. I don't know how many are out there at this point. I'm getting a little freaked out. So I'm like, it's cool, man. You go ahead, you keep the hat, you make a nice little nest out of it. I'm just gonna go on about my business. And I went back up to my car. I'm all pouty. I'm like, I just got that hat, man. I love that hat. And I'm not gonna let that owl take my hat. Chances are he dropped that hat. I'm gonna go back down there. I'm gonna find my freaking hat. I'm gonna pick it up. I don't know. I got this little spark of power in me, and I go marching down, not quite sure what I'm gonna find. Owl's gone. My hat's gone. I guess it's in God's hands. But yeah, that's my owl story. It was so crazy. And apparently I went and I told the ranger because I thought, if this happened to me, in this area, owls sometimes do attack. And I mean, they got some powerful talons, they can kind of rip you up if you think about it. And so I thought the next day I should go tell the ranger just in case they've had some other, people or, whatever they want to do with it. And he said, yeah, he goes, we've got this one owl and he's a juvenile and I don't know if it's territory thing or mating season or what, but he loves hats. So I'm like, go figure. My hat probably looked like a little bunny tail. How much you want to bet? Just beeping, down the forest. And so, yeah, he thought he was going to have a little meal and he got a pink hat instead of it. So anyways, Rhonda's laughing. Yeah, she just thinks that's so funny. And Jennifer, that's the message I needed to hear tonight. Oh, I'm stepping into using the records as my career or more in my career. So thank you. And that's exactly why I said that, because I was saying that and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. I'm just like, blah, here putting that out there. It's because you needed to hear that. And I've had so many Akashic Records readings just, from being in the group, and every one of them has been profound. I am, just saying that, but something about yours, it really stuck with me all these years, and I know it will continue to do so. It was so detailed. And I hold on to it. Because you had said at the end of it all, you saw a big birthday cake and you said it's going to be better than you ever could imagine. And I'm seeing that unfold, Jennifer, and I am so grateful and I am so honored that you were the one to give me that message. So thank you, my dear. And with that, I will let you guys all get back to your evening. Rhonda, say hi to the owls for me. And I will see you guys next Sunday, okay? Same time, same place. You take care. Talk soon. Bye.